The spirit of man is there. The body of man is there. But the most important is the soul. In other words, the spirit of man, the body of man, they are all there. But the most important is the soul. Why? That is where it is that which makes you connected to God. That is exactly what was breathed into clay that became man. That is the reason Jesus did not say, lose your spirit. No, he didn't say that because nobody can lose his spirit. You see, when Jesus said, what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and lose his soul? Because Jesus did not center on spirit, because we don't lose our spirit. Our spirit, you can't lose it. But our soul, we can lose it. Why? The soul is based on the choice. That's the free will God gave us. So when Adam decided to deal with the devil, he chose the wrong way and God couldn't stop him. So the soul is the center of decision and the most important among the three components: the body, the spirit, and the soul. So let's get this right. So salvation is a rewarding point that confirms that God has really welcomed us. Now let's take the prayer and imagination. If you learn this, then you can take it. Father, open our hearts to come to ourselves rather than confessing, which has nothing to do with our souls. You see, when you confess, it is got to do with your mouth and body. Even sometimes people say, I am sorry. Meanwhile, you can see that, no, this I am sorry is not coming from his heart. Okay, sorry. You see, human beings, I'm trying to teach you something. When something comes from within, you will see how the person will do it. Oh, I'm very sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to hurt you. You see, you can see from the emotions and the behavior. Why? It is a soul deal, innermost inside of man. It's not the outside. So, beloved, this is where I can end up teachings on the knowledge of God, which we have based on salvation and also talked about rewarding salvation, and talked about how salvation is supposed to be from the heart, not from the mouth. That's the truth, according to Luke 15. And we have talked about the reward of coming back home as God's children. All human beings are God's children, but they have decided to go their own way. And God is waiting for all human beings to return. And that is why you must hear this message or information and then realize or come to yourself and say, oh, I like what the man is saying. I like what this teachings is all about. That is realizing, and you have come to yourself and you have salvation. You have salvation. You can confess and you don't have salvation, because confessing does not conclude or confirm that it's coming from your heart. So when you realize and you add confession, fine if you want to take it that way, but not the religious way. We rush to confess. Meanwhile, that is why people are struggling to change their lives. Because when you rush with the mouth, you have to struggle to make it, because it's physical activity you are doing. But when it comes from your heart, wow, nobody will tell you to leave and stop the things you do. That's why we have a lot of religious children of God. They still have old character. Why? Because they got their salvation through physical means, instead of the soul or emotional means, from the inside, within. Because when you realize from within, like the prodigal son, nobody will tell you to return home. Nobody will tell you to want to do what God wants. And that is the true salvation. Let's get the true salvation so that we'll have a better world. Thank you so much for allowing me to teach you some things I have learned from God.